Already underway with Game 2 here in Bluefield. Bryan College and Bluefield College after the Lions took Game 1 12-1 in that 8-inning showdown on a mercy ruling. Gabe Howell has already led it off against Alex Perkins with a triple here in Game 2. Well, everybody, Bailey Engel, glad to have you back with us here on the Rams Digital Sports Network as Weinberger will look at that pitch inside for ball one. So it'll go Wade Weinberger, Lake Burris on deck. Howell with that triple. Marcus Catalano, the right fielder, batting fourth and playing in right field. That pitch is fouled back to even it up in 1-1. Jesus Estudio, the right-handed third baseman, batting fifth. Tyler Scott, the second baseman, batting sixth, with David Scoggins, the DH, batting seventh. Logan Peterson throws a wrench into the lineup. He'll bat eighth and play in left field. And then Destiny Odumban will bat ninth. As that pitch rolls away from Cardona, sliding in and making it 1-0 already is Howell. Not a banner start for Bluefield College. Howell lifted that one all the way out to right field. Bounced the ball past Andreas Holzer. Pretty much the same lineup for Bluefield, all except for Andy Pena getting the start at second base instead of Carlos Torres. Already 1-0 in favor of Bryan with no outs. This is a 7-inning ball game. The pitch. Weinberger swings and grounds it on the left side, charging up Espinal. He'll pop a throw. It's low, but snagged for out number one. Rams will certainly take it. Now Bluefield dropping to 22-19. Bryan at 31-12. And 15-7 in the AAC, while the Rams are 10-12 in the conference. Rams at 6th in the AAC coming into today. Bryan at 3rd behind Truett McConnell and Tennessee Wesleyan. Tennessee Wesleyan, the number 1 team in the AAC and the number 2 team in all of the NAIA. Here's Lake Burris. First pitch is down low. He went 1 for 5, but hit a home run in the first inning against Bluefield. Alex Perkins, undoubtedly one of the best pitchers for the Rams this year. Pitch 67 2/3. Here's the 1-0. Outside and low, 2 balls, no strikes. That's a 4.12 ERA across those almost 70 innings, 64 hits, 39 runs. 31 of them have been earned. And he has 23 walks with 67 strikeouts. Here's the 2-0. Low and away. 3 balls, no strikes, 1 out already. 1-0, nobody on for Bryan. Innings started in Game 2. Got Game 1 started at 11 a.m. Top of the first inning. No clouds in sight. 3-0. Down the middle of the plate, strike 1. Going to have the series finale for you tomorrow. That one's going to be at 1 o'clock, a 9-inning ball game. Perkins looks out of the glove and pitches. 3-1 is lifted down the right field line. Long run for Holzer towards the wall, and it will bounce fair just by inches. Burris on his way to second. He will get there. Oh, he snuck that ball in the corner and hit the whip at second base. It's a double with 1 out. Holzer seems shocked that that ball landed fair. Can't really blame him. That ball was tailing foul and just landed fair. Marcus Catalano up to the plate now. Good day for baseball and really pleasant to be playing 2 games after it was kind of cold over the weekend, rainy as well. Had to push these games to Monday, Tuesday, and that makes it tough for Bluefield. Don't get as much rest before you have to play against Tennessee Wesleyan starting on Friday. Now the pitch. It's the outside corner, strike 1. So the penultimate conference series of the regular season for Bluefield College up against Bryan. They'll have to play against Tennessee Wesleyan on their senior day. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Next the runner and pitches. Gun on and miss, strike 2. Alex Perkins, the sophomore from Christiansburg, Virginia, has been the ace for Bluefield all year. His last time out pitched a complete game, including the extra inning in the 8th in that 7-inning contest against Point. Rams won on a walk-off wild pitch and ended up winning the last 2 games of the series. So no balls, 2 strikes, and 1 out. Right fielder at the plate for Bryan. Checking on Burris, 0-2. A foul tip saves him. So it stays at 0-2. 3:35 down the lines here at Bowen Field, about 400 dead center. And a little bit of wind flowing out towards left with the sun beaming down from the first base side. Birds flying overhead. Beautiful spring afternoon. Runner at second. Here's the 0-2. And that hit him. Well, Perkins losing a bit of control here, giving up a triple, a double, and then hitting a batter. And Alano has to walk over to first base.
Third baseman, Jesus Castillo. Jesus Castillo.
Jesus' studio. He went 2 for 4 in the last game and then was replaced by Tejeda. Wind blowing back in. Went opposite field, and that's the first time today that we saw a double opposite field. Burris did it for the second time. Fouls off the first pitch. It's now strike 1. Counted 0-1, 1 out. Run is already scored after Gabe Howell blasted a triple out to right field and then legged it home on a wild pitch. 1-0 the score, 1 out. Mike White looking on. That was his 14th season as the head coach of Bluefield College. Oh, 1 in the dirt. Bryan has been on an absolute tear. And unfortunately, Bluefield was victimized by that. But if Perkins can just throw strikes and keep that command going, it could be a close ball game. Here's the 1-1. Swung on and lifted out to right field. Holzer steps back. Backpedals a few more steps and makes the catch. He'll throw into the infield. Tagging up is Burris, and he will get to second base, or get to third base from second.
Second baseman, Tyler Scott.
Here's Tyler Scott. Also a solid game 1. Popped up, foul territory. Bernard ranging, still looking, and it bounces on top of the Bluefield dugout. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Top of the first inning. Bryan already trying to clinch the series. Rams trying to force a rubber match for tomorrow. Runners on the corners for Bryan. Perkins looks, 0-1. Hit in the air, out to left field. Should be a can of corn for Napoleon. Points in the sky, steps up, makes the catch for out number 3. A little bit of damage done after the opening triple from Gabe Howell, but Bryan strands a couple of runners. We'll go to the bottom of the first, and Bluefield is coming to bat. Stephen Chambly is on the mound up against Bluefield, another ace pitcher for Bryan College, and possibly a reason why they are 31-12. Chambly with a 4.85 ERA, 3-2 across 52 innings. He deals a first pitch outside to Jordan Huntley. Huntley led off the last game with a double, one of the 5 hits that the Rams got off of Cuomo. Here's the 1-0. Fouls it back, evens it up at 1-1. So Chambly across 52 innings has allowed 54 hits, 31 runs, but 28 of them earned, 18 walks, and how about this, 51 strikeouts. That's where the Rams got into trouble in game 1 of this doubleheader, as the 1-1 is high and outside, 2 balls, 1 strike. Ambrose issued 9 walks. And on top of that, the Rams weren't able to get any hits, and Bryan didn't really pile on the hits until the end. That pitch breaks inside. Huntley danced out of the way. 3 balls, 1 strike. 1-0 the score. Howell blasted a triple out to right field and then scored on a wild pitch from Alex Perkins. But Perkins, despite giving up a double to Burris later on and hitting a batter, left 2 runners on. Here's the 3-1. Fouled back. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Santana on deck and Millette in the hole. Napoleon batting 4th. Same lineup as last game with Andy Pena the only exception. 3-2 to Huntley. Breaks low and away. Ball 4, and the Rams are gifted a walk. So the tying run is at first base for Bluefield.
Designated hitter, Jose Santana.
Brings up the designated hitter, Jose Santana. Starting to heat up a little bit with the sun directly overhead. And folks, no clouds in sight. That is something I do not remember seeing in Bluefield for quite a long time. It can get pretty bleak here when there is no sunlight as that fastball goes outside, ball 1. But at its best, here in the Appalachian Mountains, the springtime is the most beautiful season in the country. Here's the 1-0. Low and away. 2 balls, no strikes. And of course, I feel like I'm enjoying this on borrowed time. Pollen has not destroyed us yet. Outside and low. 3 balls, no strikes, and Chambly is in danger of walking the first 2 batters, which would definitely contrast with what we saw in the first game. Santana takes a strike on that one, though, on the outside corner, 3-1. 1-0 the score. Bryan leads. Rams trying to force a rubber match tomorrow. 3-1. Outside corner again, strike 2. So after being down 3-0, Chambly has fought back into a full count. Runner at first. Ready for the payoff. Outside and low, and Chambly walks the first 2 batters. We're already going to see a mound visit because for Bryan, this has just not happened today. With Cuomo, he walked 1 batter across 7 innings, and we're already seeing the first 2 batters get walked by the starter for Bryan. Rams certainly will take it. They were not given any gifts in that first game. Bryan fielded a good game. They didn't boot the ball around, and well, Bluefield, quite frankly, didn't give them that many chances to do that. That's what you see out of a team that has won 30 games. Still, on the other side of things, even with the 9 walks, Ambrose, as well as Carson, kept that game, and you can say this, it was an 11-run game, but honestly, it could have been much worse. There were multiple times in that first game where Bryan left the bases loaded. There was one time they had loaded up the bases, I believe it was the 5th inning, with no outs, and they did not score a run. Here's Ozzie Millette. 2 runners on. Go-ahead run, potentially at first base with no outs. Showing bunt, pulls back. It's right down the plate, strike 1. Rams have to take advantage of this early because it seems like if Chambly is anything like what we saw out of the previous pitcher in Joseph Cuomo, has a bit of a rocky first inning, settles in, and then after that, it's quite hard to do anything else against him. The 0-1. Swung on and grounded on the left side. Through the gap into left field, a base hit. Huntley will score to tie the game. Santana on to third. Millette racing to second. Tag not in time as he slides in. So they were covering the bag at second. And Millette put it just perfectly in no man's land. It's all tied up 1-1. What a day he's having. Millette became known as a ground ball hitter. He did have a big double in that last game that was sent out to right center field, but that time perfectly placed, his third hit of the day and his first of the ball game, and it ties it up 1-1. No outs, 2 runners in scoring position for Lennon Napoleon, who had an RBI in game 1 on a sacrifice. First pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1.
Left fielder Lennon Napoleon.
No balls, 1 strike. Pitch. Checks at it. It's on the corner anyway. No balls, 2 strikes. Quickly down 0-2. So Chamblee walked the first 2 batters. Now giving up a hit, the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Was it in the dirt? No, it was scooped up, so there's out number 1.
Here's the catcher, Joseph Cardona.
Joseph Cardona up to the plate again. So Peterson is the catcher in this ball game. Parker Cosby getting to ride the pine in game 2. Cardona to the plate with 1 out. The pitch. Swing and a miss. All tied up at 1-1. Second straight game where the Rams have scored a run in the first inning. Chamblee fires away. Went fishing down low again. No balls, 2 strikes. So Clint McCauley looking from the dugout. His pitching staff has been dominant today. Chamblee has struggled in this inning, but he strikes him out in 3 straight pitches. Looked like he threw the exact same pitch to Cardona 3 times, and he whiffed each of those
Right
times.
fielder Andreas Holzer.
The pitch. Outside and low to Holzer, ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Fouled back, evens it up in 1-1. One pitch. Inside and low. Two one. Holzer watches that break inside. 3 balls, 1 strike. Could be a gift to Bluefield here. Batters count to Holzer. Chamblee deals. Fouled back, and now a full count. Full count with 2 outs. And he fouled it back again. 3-2. So a full count and 2 outs. 2 runners in scoring position. Santana and Millette. Another payoff. And the dirt. Ball 4, and the bases are loaded. The Rams relatively reserved on the first base side, and I have to wonder if it's just the first inning they're not as excited, because they have not been given gifts like this. That's the 3rd walk of the inning from Chamblee. Marcus Espinal can try to take the lead for the Rams with a base hit. First pitch. Shortstop pops it up foul, first base side. and it gets out of the ballpark. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Beautiful sun-splashed afternoon on a Monday. Important Appalachian Athletic Conference baseball. I'm trying to knock off the number 3 team in the conference, number 23 team in the country. Now the 0-1. Outside, ball 1. Espinal with a hit in game 1 of the series. He's also walked. The only walk issued by Cuomo. 1-1. Into the air, out to left field, racing back at the warning track, feels for the wall, and it's gone! Grand slam for Marcus Espinal, and the Rams take a 5-1 lead in the bottom of the first inning. The wind showed up at the right time, and the shortstop lifted the ball out of the confines here at Bowen Field. Huge home run for Marcus Espinal, and the first lead Bluefield has had all day. Great time for a grand slam. When is there a bad time for a grand slam? Bernard fouls it back. What a break for Bluefield. Needed that. It just seemed like that ball was going to stay in. The wind got a hold of it right at the right time as the 0-1 bounces low. So the Rams able to capitalize on 3 walks. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Santana also hit by a pitch. Here's the 1-1. Hit on the ground, down the first base side, and foul. Makes it 1-2. Bernard trying to fight here. 1-2. In the dirt, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Outside corner, Bernard looks at it, and the first inning is over. But a huge grand slam for Marcus Espinal, and the Rams have jumped out to a 5-1 lead as we head to the second inning in game 2 of this doubleheader. David Scoggins leads off the top of the second, and all of a sudden, a Rams pitcher has run support, up 5-1. Grand slam from Marcus Espinal gives Bluefield a 4-run lead. First pitch from the righty. Scoggins cuts and misses, strike 1. So all of a sudden, the roles have reversed. Chambly with a couple of walks, hitting a batter with a pitch, and gives Bluefield a chance to take a 4-run lead, 0-1. Another good pitch from Perkins down Broadway. Count makes it 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. Scoggins looks at it, low, ball 1. DH is up to the plate. He had a couple of hits in game 1. 7, 8, 9 due up for Bryan. Logan Peterson on deck. First time we'll see him wield a bat today against the Rams. Now the 1-2. Where did that miss? Just a bit inside. Cardona didn't seem too excited about the call. 2 balls, 2 strikes, no outs. Perkins looks out of that beige glove, pitches. Into the air, deep to center field. Huntley on an all-out sprint towards the track and makes the catch. Boy, Scoggins skied that one to deep center, and Huntley was able to sprint back about 15 yards and made that catch like he was trying to range a fade route.
Now batting catcher Logan Peterson.
5-1, top of the second, and here's Logan Peterson. The pitch in the air to left field. Napoleon points up. Makes the catch. Boy, Napoleon does that every time. There's 2 outs, couple of high fly outs. I'll bring up Destine Udumban. And a couple of base knocks after also being walked 3 times. So he reached every time he came to the plate. Top of the second inning, Rams up against the number 23 team in the country and up by 4. Pitch. Center fielder watches it right down the middle. Strike 1. Be big here if Bluefield is able to retire Bryan in order. That has not happened. At least it didn't in game 1. Rocks with the 0-1. Right down the middle, a carbon copy of the last pitch. No balls, 2 strikes. Counted 0-2. Perkins getting into a bit of a groove here. Destine Udumban at the plate. 0-2. Swing and a miss. He gets him. 3 up, 3 down. Go the Lions. And we head to the bottom of the second. Rams are up by 4. 5-1. Welcome back for the bottom of the second, everybody. We're in a 7-inning game, and the Rams lead 5-1. Chambly's on the mound, and he deals a first pitch ball to Andy Pena. Rams capitalizing on the bases loaded opportunity given to Marcus Espinal, and he skied deep to left field as Pena shoots that one deep to left. Should stay in the ballpark, though. Weinberger back, makes the catch, and there's out number 1. Rams finding some pop here in game 2. They had just about had it in game 1 after being sat down so easily by Joseph Cuomo.
Now batting center fielder Jordan Huntley.
Top of the lineup again, Jordan Huntley. He was walked to start out the game. Here's the pitch. Outside and called a strike. Count goes 0-1. Chambly deals 0-1. Outside corner, and he is getting into the zone. Huntley seemed a little bit frustrated by that call. He'll go back in the batter's box, though. Rams trying to be disciplined and keep this lead. Alex Perkins retired Bryan in order in the second. That one goes outside. Ball one. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Here's the pitch. Just missed again. That was close. Huntley didn't even throw the bat out to foul that one off. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Out of the glove, Chambly rocks and deals. Hit on the ground towards the middle and through for a base hit. Huntley is at first with a 1-out single, and it'll bring up Jose Santana, who has walked back in the first inning. So a 5-1 lead for Bluefield. That really is something after the Rams were run ruled in game 1 in 8 innings, 12-1. To even have a lead with 1 run would be impressive, and now they're up by 4. Have to keep it, though. It's a shorter game. Pitch to Santana. He swings and golfs it out to deep center. Udambon on the run towards the track, and he makes the catch. Huntley's got to go all the way back as he was almost to second. Good play by the center fielder, and there's out number 2.
Third baseman, Ozzy Millette.
That was outside, and it's actually called a strike to Ozzy Millette. Doubled his last time up. 5-1 the score, 2 outs, bottom of the second. Huntley is on with a single at first base. Here's the 0-1. In the dirt, Peterson gloves it. Evens it up in 1-1 with 2 outs. So game 2 of this doubleheader. We're going to be back tomorrow for game 3. With the Rams hopefully forcing a rubber match. Pickoff attempt, not in time. 1 ball, 1 strike. Rams searching for their 11th conference win right now at 10-12 in the AAC. Ready for the 1-1. Swinging a fly ball out to center. Straight to Udambon, shuffles to the right, stops and makes the grab. Rams leave a runner on at first base in Huntley after his single. We played 2 innings at Bowen Field, on to the 3rd. Five to one the score. On to the top of the third inning. Rams lead by 4, and at the top of the lineup here is Gabe Howell, who tripled and scored a run. First pitch from Alex Perkins is a bit high and inside. 1 ball, no strikes. He tripled out to right field past the grab of Andreas Holzer. Here's the 1-0. Just misses the knees. 2 balls, no strikes. Perkins was able to retire Bryan in 3 straight batters in the top of the second inning. That's the first time Bluefield has been able to do that today. They did have a couple of scoreless frames, though. 2-0. Hit down on the left field side and through for a base hit. Well, it's hard to see that ball shoot off on the left side here from our third base angle. It's not particularly the best place to call a game. I was told that there would be a press box behind home plate, but I'm told that's also a legend that has been told since this place was built back in 1970. So it will be an error on Ozzie Millette. Here's Weinberger. Now it's down low, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Playing in a 7-inning game. On the belt, 1-0. Inside corner, called a strike. Count goes to 1-1. No outs, a runner at first. 5-1 the score. If you're just now joining us, Marcus Espinal lifted a grand slam to left field, taking a 5-1 lead for Bluefield. Here's the pitch. Into the air, out towards right center. Could be trouble. Long run in, and it will drop for a base hit. Huntley comes up with it, and 2 runners are on for Bryan.
First baseman, Lake Burris.
Burris up. He doubled out to right field his last time on a ball that hugged the line. Bryan trying to storm back here. No outs, 2 men on board as that pitch is right down the middle. Strike 1. No balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Outside and low. Ready for the pitch. Swing and a miss. It's high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Try to get him fishing there. Burris, with 23 home runs on the year, probably has sent them out on a variety of where that ball is in the zone, but that was not the zone at all. That was up near his face. All in 2 strikes, no outs. Two men aboard. Rams want a double play. Here's the 1-2. Outside by just a hair. Ball 2. 2 runners on for Bryan. 5-1 Bluefield leads. No outs, though, in the top of the third inning. Really would mean a lot to the Rams' confidence if Perkins is able to stay strong in this game. And if you're Mike White, you have to think for Alex Perkins, one of your better pitchers, that in this 7-inning game on the first day of the series, you want him to go the entire game. And he's been able to do that before. Two balls, 2 strikes. No outs. Foul tipped right behind Cardona. Keeps it at 2-2. Sun's starting to heat things up here in Bluefield. All of a sudden, it's not a crisp morning anymore. Got this started at 10:59. I don't like what Perkins does. Doesn't bring a bunch of fancy pitches. Kind of relies on that fastball and relies on his fielders to get the job done. Here's a 2-2. Swing and a miss. Big time strikeout there for the first out. One gone at the top of the third inning. So Perkins sits down one of the best power hitters in the country. Has to deal with Marcus Catalano. The pitch, fouled off. Yeah, strike one. Count goes 0-1. Five-1 the score, top of the third inning. Ready for the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Boy, that was a big-time cut. No balls, 2 strikes. Catalano was hit by a pitch back in the first inning. Perkins trying to go for back-to-back strikeouts as he has the ball back in the glove. 2 runners aboard for Bryan. 5-1 game, the 0-2. And on the ground over towards second and bouncing into the glove of Pena. He spins, has no throw, and now the bases are loaded. That was a good job there by Weinberger to get in front of the ball where Pena couldn't find it. Had to play it back, and now the base is juiced with 1 out. Swing of the bat could tie the game.
Third baseman, Jesus Estudillo.
Jesus Estudillo up to the plate again with the bases loaded. 0 for 1. Swing of the bat could tie it up. 4 hits for Bryan. And a big-time chance here. First pitch. In the dirt, Cardona gloves in front, kicks out to the first base side, and here comes Howell. He scores, and now it's 5-2. Second time where Howell's been able to score on a wild pitch today. Astudillo still could represent the tying run with a swing of the bat, 2 runners in scoring position. Rams don't have that double play opportunity anymore. So now 5-2. Perkins looks around and deals. Swings and grounds it on the left side. Espinal ranges, will throw to first. Scooped out, and now it goes behind Bernard. So not only does 1 run score, here comes Catalano, and it ends up being a 2-run error. And now it's 5-4. All of a sudden, it's a 1-run game with 1 out. 3 runs have scored for Bryan, and it's top of the third. And it's frustrating sometimes to watch Bluefield because the runs don't score off of amazing base hits. It's the errors and the wild pitches. And now it looks like we're going to see courtesy, or rather a pinch runner coming on. Well, McCauley does not like Astudillo to run. Josh Hinkin on to run for the third baseman. Brings up Tyler Scott, the second baseman. That nearly hit him. Scott turned into it. It's ball one. 1 out, 5-4 the score. All of a sudden a one-run game after the Rams led by 4. Tying run is at first. Top of the third in a 7-inning game. 1-0. Outside and low. 2 balls, no strikes. Well, Perkins can't fall into this rhythm where he walks batters because Bryan will not hesitate to just find a way to knock those runners in. Already a good team that can hit. Don't want to give them any free runners. Here's the 2-0. Scott swings and fouls it off, rolling on a dead spin over towards the Bryan dugout. Two balls, one strike. The pitch to Scott. Swings and grounds it down the third baseline. Kick back into fair territory by Millett, and everybody is safe. Had to dive to keep it in the infield and even have a chance on it. And now it's going to be an infield single. And now they're going to give him an error on that. Excuse me, a hit. So it's a base hit. Here comes Scoggins. Tying run at second base. He cuts and misses, strike one. This is turning into a long inning for Perkins. 5 hits already for the Lions. And at 0-1, the pitch. Cuts and misses. That was a bit low. No balls, 2 strikes. So Rams with that big grand slam, but they're going to have to score more runs against Bryan than 5 if they want to win this game. No balls, 2 strikes to the DH. Deal to the lefty. Outside and high, ball 1. A good pitch, though, from Perkins. One ball, 2 strikes. Man on the knees, Perkins working from the stretch, and the sophomore pitches. Outside corner, got him. Scoggins goes down looking, and that is a huge strikeout for Perkins. Rams trying to go into the bottom of the third with the lead.
Catcher Logan Peterson.
Here's Logan Peterson. Lifted a deep ball out to left. That pitch is right down the middle for strike 1. Count goes to 0-1, 2 outs. Perkins checks on the runner at second base and deals. Outside in the dirt, Cardona fishes it up quickly, though, so the runners stay at bay. So Peterson 0 for 1 today. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. The pitch swung on and cracked out to right field. Holzer racing back towards the warning track. Dives. Did he make the catch? Yes. Big time catch for Bluefield's right fielder, and that leaves 2 aboard for Bryan. Rams go into the bottom of the third, still leading by 1. It is 5-4. Lennon Napoleon leads off for Bluefield against Chambly, and the Rams are up 5-4. Pitch right down the middle to the 4-5-6 of Bluefield, and Napoleon is down 0-1. Chambly ready to rock. He pitches. Swinging a foul back. Count goes to 0-2. By the way, those 3 runs for Alex Perkins in the top of the third are unearned, so 3 of the 4 runs today he has given up, all unearned runs. I'm trying to add to their lead. They haven't scored since the first inning. Here we are in the bottom of the third, and Napoleon swings and golfs that one foul. It'll go Napoleon, Cardona, and then Espinal, who hit the grand slam. No balls, 2 strikes. Chambly fires. Now it's time for ball 1. Big game for Bluefield, big game for Bryan, trying to find their 32nd win as the 1-2 is cranked foul, right side out of play. Bryan won game 1 of this doubleheader 12-1 in 8 innings. Now this is only a 7-inning game. I'm just trying to hold on to the 1-run lead. Here's the 1-2. Swinging a line drive foul down the third baseline. Ball and 2 strikes on a sunny afternoon for baseball in the 2 Virginias. Mike White also searching for win number 396 on his career. Here's the 1-2. Swinging a tapper foul, third base side. Napoleon begins this battle. Has that front leg bent. Here's another 1-2. Swinging a slice foul right over to the first base coach, Garrett Schilling. 1 ball, 2 strikes. A few more game balls over to the umpire. Been a fun year on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Baseball pretty much concluding a lot of our work. Softball, no more home games for them. The 1-2. Swinging a foul off again. Just dropped by Peterson, the catcher. That's been fun doing all of the sports. Men's volleyball was something I wasn't used to before coming to Bluefield. Now, Ray Vance did a good job with them, but baseball really is something that has been our bread and butter. The 1-2. Swinging a line drive, foul again, third base side. Kicking off of the wall, protecting the bullpen. One ball, 2 strikes. Napoleon trying to calibrate this swing to get on base. You'll watch a Bluefield game. Alex Perkins did have a top of the third that was a bit rough. Wasn't helped by a few errors. Need to score more runs. The 1-2. Inside almost hits Napoleon. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two balls, 2 strikes, no outs. Two. Swing and a miss at a pitch in the dirt. Peterson picks it up, throws to first in time, and the long battle is won by Chambly for out number 1. Tough at bat for Napoleon, who was early on a few of those breaking pitches. Chambly, kind of like Cuomo, rapid fire, dictates the pace at a very quick rate. Here comes Cardona for the Rams. First pitch to him. Check swing on a pitch outside. Called that a ball. Ready with the 1-0. Outside and low, 2 balls, no strikes. Cardona's 0 for 1. He struck out. Pitch. Low and away, but called a strike. That didn't look like it was a strike any more than those first 2 pitches. And again, we're from the third base vantage point. Here's the 2-1. Swung on, popped up left side of the infield. Astudillo makes the catch right at his shoulder. There's out number 2. 5-4 the score, 2 outs, bottom of the third inning. First pitch to Holter, popped up right field. Catalano camps out under it, and the Rams go 3 up, 3 down in the bottom of the third. Bluefield holding on to a 1-run lead. It's 5-4 on to the fourth inning of this 7-inning game. Back here on to the fourth inning. Rams are up by 1. It is 5-4. First pitch outside. Destine Udemban. Ready at the plate for the 1-0. He swings and fights it off on the ground on the second base side. Gobbled up by Pena. Throw to first. And time for the first out. Good gift there. Udemban has been red hot at the plate. Ball just did not hit the sweet spot of the bat at all and backspun its way onto second base. So now it goes back to the top of the lineup for Gabe Howell, who has scored 2 of the 4 runs. By the way, Alex Perkins on the mound still for Bluefield, allowing only 1 earned run out of those 4. That was back in the first. And it was Gabe Howell who tripled and then scored on a wild pitch. First pitch to the shortstop is low, ball 1. So the Rams looking for a way to make it a rubber match tomorrow in Game 3 of the series. Now the 1-0 is low. 2 balls, no strikes. Wind starting to pick up and flowing into the field and out. Here's the 2-0. Outside and missing. 3 balls, no strikes. Christiansburg native has to try to get back into the zone here. Rams have scored 5 runs on the first inning, 4 of them off of a grand slam from Marcus Espinal. .30. Down the plate, strike 1. So it would be big for Bluefield if they are able to split this doubleheader, especially after how Game 1 went. Losing by 11 runs in a mercy rule effect in 8 innings. 3-1. It's low, ball 4. So with 1 out,
Left fielder Wade Weinberger.
brings up Wade Weinberger. Runner at first. Potential tying run. First pitch, he swings and blasts it foul left side. 1 for 2 with a run scored. Rams with a couple of big errors in that last inning that have made Bryan more of a viable opponent in this game, only down by 1. Pickoff attempt at first, not in time. AAC play, NCCAA play for Bluefield, all in the reach in the postseason. Rams, if they don't make a run for it in the AAC tournament, likely will play in the NCCAA regional. 0-1 and a tie. Ball and a strike. Might play against a team like Hiwassee or Alice Lloyd. By the way, Hiwassee in their last semester as a university, or excuse me, as a college, they will be closing. And that's something rare you don't see maybe at the higher levels of sport. Just imagine if you're watching a Florida State game as a pickoff attempt is high, and they're playing against Wake Forest, and Wake Forest is closing. So it's the last season. That's something you don't see really at any other level except for these small schools, which is a bit of a shame. Hiwassee does have a couple of proud alums. 1-1. Weinberger looks at it outside, ball 2. And they battle with Bluefield every year. Softball just played them last week and swept them in a doubleheader. And in basketball, Rams took the NCCAA regional from them, and they had to do it on a tip-in at the buzzer. Pickoff attempt once again, just a bit late. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. So that's just another midweek opponent Bluefield will not have next year. Two, 1. Now time for ball 3. Three balls, 1 strike, 1 out. The pitch, Weinberger fouls it back. So after that ball hits that deep backstop, it goes to 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Absolutely no wind in the ballpark right now, so it's even getting hotter than it was. Starting to think that long sleeves were a bad idea. Now at 3-2, another pickoff attempt to tie. Top of the 4th inning, 1 out. Rams hoping for a double play. They've been able to get a few of those today, but here in game 2, might be a little bit more clutch with the Rams leading by 1. Weinberger at the plate. Now the payoff runner takes off, swing, and a foul back again, kicking off of the backstop, and Howell's going to have to go back to first. Three balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Here's the pitch. Swung on, grounded down the first base line and just foul, pushing about 2 feet to the right of the first base bag. Makes it 3-2, 1 out. And to see those little cotton ball paratrooper seeds flying around. And it's nice to see the trees in bloom behind center field. When we started playing here at the beginning of this baseball season, it was just very stark right behind center field, very dead, if you will. Another payoff. Weinberger hits it in the air, deep to right field. Holzer back at the track, settles down, makes the catch, 2 outs. Pump fake, he'll try to throw to first base, and Bernard gets it on a hop. Howell's able to retreat back. Weinberger just missed it there. Could have used some of that wind that Espinal had in the first inning, and he didn't get it. High charge into that one. Probably hit it about 328 feet. He's a guy that can hit it even further. Lake Burris doubled earlier in this game and struck out 1 for 2 now. 5-4 the score. Runner at first could tie the game with 2 outs. First pitch to the right-handed hitter. Runner takes off. Cardona whips to second, and it won't be in time. Andy Pena was well out in front of the bag. Could not turn around to get the tag, so now the only force is at first base is the throw back to the pitcher. Bounces a ride, rolling down the first baseline. Howell doesn't realize it, and he'll stay at second base. I think McCauley has to be a little bit upset. Head coach wanted him to take off there, and he likely could have, as that ball just bounced off of the wrist of Perkins. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs. First baseman is up with no batting gloves. Perkins being deliberate, working from the stretch. Now steps off. And he walked him. So the Rams will go with the intentional walk. Might be a good idea to keep a force at every base. Go up against Marcus Catalano. Catalano 1 for 1 with a run scored. Also hit by a pitch.
Right fielder Marcus Catalano.
5-4 the score. Rams leading by 1. Interestingly enough, Bryan has 5 hits and Bluefield has 4. The Rams have those 5 runs. First deal to the right fielder. He swings it, fouls it back. Strike 1. Goes on the left panel of the backstop. No balls, 1 strike. Ready for the 0-1. Catalano, another guy without batting gloves. Here's the pitch. Inside, almost hit him. Turns into it 1-1. Top of the 4th, turning into a long one already. "5-4 the score. The pitch fouled off the body of Cardona. So now 1-2. Perkins a strike away from keeping this lead and pitching a scoreless frame in the top of the 4th inning. 2 runners aboard, though, for Bryan. Turning into a duel here. Perkins has to work from the stretch. Tying run is at second base, and Howell go-ahead run at first in Lake Burris. Catalano trying to plate them home. Perkins looks at second, pitches, and that one is chopped over to first. Bernard has it, jogs to the bag, and the top of the 4th is over. Bryan leaves a couple of runners on, and the Rams hold on to that 1-run lead. 5-4, Bluefield on top, on to the bottom of the 4th inning. First pitch of the bottom of the fourth inning is high and inside to Marcus Espinal. Rams lead 5-4. Whitley Engel on the call here. Glad to have you with us as that next pitch is whipped outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Excuse me, that hit the zone, 1-1. Espinal with a grand slam his last time up. Here's the pitch. Looks at it low, called a strike anyway, crossing the knees, a ball and 2 strikes. Chambly is really starting to rock and roll here with the stirrups on. Looks in, starts the motion 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Boy, that was quick. Strikeout for Chambly, and he is trying to keep this at a 1-run game as Edgardo Bernard steps up. He's 0 for 1, struck out swinging. Here's the pitch. Outside, but called a strike, 0-1. Chambly, boy, he started off this game a bit rocky. Had 3 walks. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. And now, with 5 strikeouts and a strike away from making it 6 in a blink of the 9. Bottom of the 4th inning, Rams lead 5-4 in a 7-inning game. Here's the pitch. Outside, corner got him. Bernard goes down looking in 3 pitches. 2 gone. Well, these guys from Bryan do not mess around as far as the pitch speed and as far as just the pace of play. It has been very quick. Here's Andy Pena. Switch hitter batting left-handed. First pitch, he cuts and misses, strike 1. Pena's 0 for 1 today. Grounded out his last time up. The 0-1. Looks at it, called a strike. Chambly is firing him off here. He only threw 1 ball. Wind blowing out towards left field. Rocks 0-2. Outside just a bit. 1 ball, 2 strikes with 2 outs. Went for Pena. Looking to Chambly. The 1-2. And the dirt, 2 balls, 2 strikes. And you have to wonder if Chambly's going a bit too fast here. Ball rolls out to Santana, who's in the hole. Huntley on deck. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here's the offer. Swing and a miss at a pitch in the dirt. Peterson actually caught it and will have no throw to first base. Striking out the side is Chambly, and it's 5-4. On to the 5th inning of this 7-inning game. Rams are up by 1. Five four the score. We're ready for the top of the 5th inning. First pitch to Astudillo was a bit outside, and it is Ball one. One ball, no strikes. Estudillo, the fifth batter in the lineup, and the third baseman. Midley Angle on the call here. Game 2 of this doubleheader. We're only playing a 7-inning game. It's a close one right now. Rams scored 5 runs in the first inning, and so far that has been enough to keep their lead. Tyler Scott on deck. Really a tough part of the lineup. 1-0. Inside nearly hit him. 2 balls, no strikes. Perkins has thrown now 78 pitches. 4 innings. He's allowed 1 earned run out of the 4. 3 strikeouts. And 5 hits. Astudillo is 0 for 2 against him as that pitch bounces away. 3 balls, no strikes. Don't want to walk a guy that does not really have a lot of success against you today. Does have 2 RBIs, though. The difference has been the walks, though. Perkins has only issued 2. 3 balls, no strikes. 3-0. Down the plate, strike 1. Right back into it. Astudillo flew out to right. Reached base on an error his last time up. Here's a 3-0. Swinging a ground ball, or rather a fly ball down the left field line. It is fair and a base hit. Astudillo will round first and stay there. Shot off of the bat with that sun. It is very hard to see.
Second baseman, Tyler Scott.
Tyler Scott up 1 for 2. 5-4 the score. Bryan has left a considerable amount of runners on base in this game. Rams really can't afford to leave anybody on base as Scott pulls back on a bunt attempt. It's called a strike anyway. Goes 0-1. Bluefield searching for another win in the AAC. Would be their 11th of the year. Now stepping off, showing bunt. Bryan scored 1 run in the first inning, 3 in the third, held scoreless in the fourth despite having 2 men on. Oh, 1. Swung on and cranked out to left field. A base hit down the line. Astudillo at third, getting the green light home, trying to tie the game, and he will. It's a 1-run double from Tyler Scott, and it's now 5-5. A 4-run lead for Bluefield erased. Five the score, and Scott with a big-time double there. And it was interesting because they left Astudillo on to run. Coach McCauley usually brings him out, but wants to keep him in the game. Understandably so in this tight ball game. Scoggins at the plate now with no outs. A base hit could take the lead for Bryan after they trail at 1.5-1. It's a big grand slam from Marcus Espinal. Chambly, boy, he pitched that bottom of the 4th inning. It might have been 2 minutes. Maybe that. Struck out the side so quickly. Runner at second, pitch to Scoggins, fouls it back. He got a quick little talking to before he went up to the plate. He went down looking his last time up. 0 for 2. DH with a chance to plate a run home on a base knock that could take a 6-5 lead, all tied up 5-5, top of the 5th inning. Chambly really settled in. Rams haven't scored since the first inning. 4 unanswered runs for Bryan. Now the 0-1. Licked at, low and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Checks on second. Perkins with a couple of looks and finally deals. Shows bunt, pulls back, it's high. Two balls, one strike. Pitch swung on and skied out to left field. Napoleon racing back, converging with Huntley, and the center fielder makes the grab. So Scott will tag up and go on to third base. He is safe. There's one out. Boy, that seemed like Napoleon's ball to get, but Huntley ranged right in front of him to make the catch, and there's out number one, but well, the Rams will take it. Potential go-ahead run now at third base.
Catcher Logan Peterson.
Logan Peterson with a fly ball can make it 6-5. Rams with the infield in, recognizing if there's a ground ball, they're going to try to go home with it. They'll have the top of their lineup due up in the bottom of the fifth inning. All tied up by 5. First pitch to the catcher. Cut on and missed. Strike one. No balls, one strike, one out. Long doubleheader. Infield in, the 0-1. Swinging a little chopper right up the middle. Perkins looks home, has to throw to first. And does he get the out? Yes. That was close there. Logan Peterson lost his batting helmet. Perkins took kind of a longer time than he should have to try to throw that over to first base. And Bernard makes a snow cone catch. Peterson retired, and that's a big out. 2 outs. Go ahead run is at third base. Here's the pitch, and it's low but called a strike, 0-2. Swung on and grounded towards the middle. Diving play, Espinal. He can't get there as the ball rolls into center field, and now it is a 6-5 lead for Bryan. Well, that center fielder has been a thorn in the side for Bluefield today. Destine Udemban. 6-5 the score, and right back to Gabe Howell. Outside, ball one. Counted 0-1. Udemban takes off. Cardona just lets him do that. That pitch goes inside for ball one. Evens up at 1-1. 5 runs unanswered for Bryan. They lead 6-5 in the top of the fifth. Sliced in the air, first base side. Long run for Bernard at the wall. He dropped it. Runs into the tarp and has to be frustrated. Looks like he hit that tarp pretty hard, too. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nearly had it. He seems to be okay. I think he just hung there because he was frustrated. Should have had that ball. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Long inning for Perkins. 2 runs have scored. Both of these ones earned. 1-2 to Howell. Watches it high, ball 2. 1-run lead for Bryan, trying to get the Brooms ready to sweep the doubleheader and take the series. Well, the Rams, if they win tomorrow, would just be a way to get them an AAC win, not an AAC series win. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. From the belt, Perkins fires. Swung on and fouled back. Keeps it at 2-2 with 2 outs. Fouled back again. Stays at 2-2. Howell trying to break this game open. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch. Howell swings and grounds it towards the middle. Espinal gloves it, throws to first. Scooped, but not in time, and now there are runners on the corners. Boy, this is tough. And now it looks like Perkins' day is done. Mike White to the mound, and he will replace Alex Perkins. Top of the 5th. 2 outs, runners on the corners, and a new pitcher coming in. So that's it for Alex Perkins. That'll bring up Steven Estep with runners on the corners, 2 outs in the top of the 5th inning. Tough one for Alex Perkins. Certainly hasn't got all the help in the field today, but giving up those hits now. Bryan has taken the lead after trailing at 1.5 to 1. Wade Weinberger takes the first pitch outside from Estep, and it's ball 1.
Wade Weinberger.
So Estep on the year has started a few games and has came out of the bullpen in now 6 of them, 2 and 6 on the year. That pitch is fouled back, 1-1. Has a 7.71 ERA across 49 innings, 75 hits, 59 runs, only 42 of them earned though, and 27 walks with 32 strikeouts. Really all that the Rams can ask is to make sure that he doesn't walk a ton of batters. Here's the 1-1. Runner takes off, and Howell, throw to second, skips in just a bit late and bounces away. Here comes Odom. He will score, and now it is 7-5. Have to wonder if it was worth it to even throw that. Thought he had him. Gabe Howell slides in for a stolen bag. Odom comes in. 2-run lead. Makes it 6 unanswered runs. Meanwhile, it's a 2-1 count to the left fielder for Bryan. Only playing a 7-inning game. Here's the 2-1. Called a strike, a delayed strike call. Wow. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Weinberger is 1 for 3. Single to right field in the 3rd inning. Last time out, flew out to right, though. Counted 2-2. That run will be attributed to Alex Perkins. Here's the 2-2. Swung on and chopped on the right side. Pena plays it back. Gets on the bounce. Throws to first. Right on target for out number 3. 4.5 innings in the books. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th, and the Rams now trail by 2. It's 7-5. Jordan Huntley will try to lead this charge back for Bluefield, down 7-5. And the first pitch to the center fielder from Chamblee is bounced foul, third base side, and the count is 0-1. Rams scored 5 runs back in the first inning. Huntley was one of them, and then 4 runs came on after a grand slam from Marcus Espinal. Since then, Chamblee really has anchored down and has pitched 3 straight scoreless frames. Here's a pitch to Huntley. Watches it on the corner, strike 1. Chamblee has started to rack up the strikeouts. Rams have really struck out for most of this game, or most of this doubleheader. Cuomo sat them down with regularity. The 0-2 bounces away. And Chamblee now has 7 strikeouts. Cuomo had 11. So the Rams have struck out in total 18 times in this game, or in this doubleheader. Only playing a 7-inning game here, though. Ready for the 1-2. Watched outside and high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Comes a 2-2. And that hits Huntley. Takes him on the back there. Brings the tying run to the plate in Jose Santana. Bailey Engel on the call here. Game 2 of this doubleheader. Rams searching for an AAC win. And it would be great for Bluefield to get Mike White, who has been the head of Bluefield baseball since 2006, to his 400th win. Right now 5 away. Playing up at third is Astudillo, and Santana looks at it, called a strike. And a quiet day for Santana. 0 for 1. Did score a run after being walked. He is hitless today. That pitch is bounced low. Peterson comes up and just throws it right back to the pitcher. 7-5 the score. Rams with 4 hits. It's been a while since they've had one. Fans starting to make their way on the first base side. And a few fans plop down on the orange seats here at Bowen Field. There's the 1-1. It'll have to wait. A pickoff attempt at first is not in time. Ready for the 1-1. Swung on and fouled off. Nope, didn't get a piece of it. It bounced in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes, no outs. Small lead at first for Huntley, who was hit by a pitch. 1-2 is outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Certainly enough time for Bluefield to try to come back in this one. Runner at first. 1-2. Inside. Ball 2. Nearly got him, though. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Boy, I just wish that these windows weren't in here. It makes it quite hot in here with these windows. And put here for reasons that weren't really explained greatly to me, as that one bounces low. Ball 4. Makes it kind of a greenhouse in here, and the windows are here for the fact that it separates the broadcasters from the peanut gallery in front of us at the Appalachian League games. Meanwhile, for Chambly, after a couple of walks to lead off in the bottom of the 5th, is this it for the starting pitcher? Could just be a quick talking to from McCauley, who he himself was the pitching coach. This is his first year as the head coach for Bryan, 8th season in Dayton, Tennessee. One turns around, and now we are ready. (7-5) the score. Tying run at first base. Ozzie Millette with a chance with the swing of the bat here to take the lead for Bluefield. Bryan hoping for a double play. Bottom of the 5th inning. This time is getting closer and closer to the end of this doubleheader. First pitch to Millette shows bunt, pulls back. It's a high fastball, ball 1. Rams get a gift there. 1 ball, no strikes, no outs. 7-5. Bryan has roared back, down 5-1, 6 unanswered. Good chance here for Bluefield, though, to add a few. The 1-0. Shows bunt, bounces it down, right back to the pitcher. Chambly whips to first in time, but now the damage is done with a sacrifice working. 2 runners in scoring position, and a base hit could tie the game. So now Lennon Napoleon up to the dish with 1 out, 2 runners in scoring position. Sacrifice fly could make it 7-6. Really the biggest chance here for Bluefield since the first inning to score runs. Back to the plate, adjusting his batting gloves and his tape on the wrist, adding to the suspense of this at-bat. Digs in right side. Has that front leg bent. Here's the pitch. Called a strike on the corner. No balls, 1 strike in that 1-out. Chambly had a quick mound visit from his head coach. Still dealing on the mound, though. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Boy, this is a big pitch coming up here. Count it 0-2. Not a lot of barking from Bryan's dugout, just business as usual. Stephen Chambly out of that glove. Napoleon looks in that right batter's box. 2 runners in scoring position. The 0-2. Swinging a foul tip, saves him. Blazing right behind the catcher. No balls, 2 strikes. Huntley and Santana on, both of them on with walks. Well, that got the job done, putting them into scoring position with the sacrifice. Here's the 0-2. Outside and high, ball 1. Didn't miss by much. Still back in on the right side. Bottom of the 5th inning. 1-2 offer. Swung on and shot out to center field. That will drop for a base hit. Huntley will score. Santana held up at third as the ball bounces down the third baseline. Santana will stay at third base, and Napoleon, all fired up, slides into second. Now it's a 1-run game. Breaking that scoreless streak for Bluefield in the bottom of the 5th inning. Santana possibly could have rolled the dice there as that throw went awry down the third baseline. Nobody was going to be there to cover home. Well, Mike White played it conservatively, though. That's not always a bad thing. Joseph Cardona up. Base hit would likely give Bluefield the lead. 7-6 now the score. First pitch. Cardona looks at it, low and away, ball 1. Holzer's on deck. Here's the pitch. Swung on, popped up, sky high and foul, right side and out of play. That one is bounced deep on the right side. Grabbed by Scott, throw to first in time, but now the game is tied. It's a ground out from Cardona, makes it 7-7. Rams have fought back and tied the game. Potential go-ahead run is at third, and a chance for Andreas Holzer to be the hero here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Right fielder Andreas Holzer.
On the right side of the plate, Chambly searching for a way to back into the 6th inning. Puts it right down the middle on that one, though. Count at 0-1. Sun beaming down from the right side. Napoleon waiting at third. The 0-1. Swing and a miss at a pitch low. No balls, 2 strikes. Rams down to their final strike in the 5th inning. Here's the pitch. Holzer fouls it off and bounces it right behind home plate. Keeps it at 0-2. Boy, this is a huge at-bat. Napoleon got it started for Bluefield. The ground out from Cardona. If that rolls behind Scott, it could give the Rams the lead. But now it's 7-7. 0-2. Outside, just missed. Bryan was ready to head into the dugout. Now the tension builds again. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 outs. The pitch. Check swing and a pitch in the dirt. Tag laid down by Peterson. Throws to first. Did he get him? Yes, he did. I'm not sure why the home plate umpire didn't call the tag there. Must have missed him, and Peterson threw it on to first base, and that will end the bottom of the 5th inning. We head to the 6th, tied up at 7-7. Rams have fought back and now have a chance in this one against Bryan College. Ryan's 2-run lead did not last long. Now to the top of the 6th, and a 3-4-5 due up for Bryan. Lake Burris up against Stephen Estep for the first time today. All of a sudden, the Rams fight back from being down 7-5 and tie it up. First pitch is well high to Burris. Estep came in for Perkins in the top of the 5th inning. Just got that final out. Here's the 1-0. Down the middle, strike one. Chambly has pitched 5 innings and gave up all of those runs earned. 4 walks, 8 strikeouts for him. The 1-1. Burris fouls it off the mask of Cardona, makes it now 1-2. So Burris is 1 for 2, has a double with a walk and a strikeout. Big battle for Estep against one of the biggest power hitters in the country. Keeps it at a ball and 2 strikes with no outs. Here's the pitch. High again, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody on. Estep the lefty. 2-2. It's high, ball 3. Rams can't put themselves in situations where they walk these batters and give Bryan just an easy chance to take the lead. Pitch, and it's low, ball 4. Cardona finds it, and the leadoff man is on in the top of the 6th inning.
Right fielder Marcus Catalano.
Marcus Catalano, the switch hitter, up against the righty, or excuse me, the lefty. Batting right-handed, shows bunt and pulls back in time for ball 1. One ball, no strikes. Go-ahead run standing at first base. 7-7 the score here at Bowen Field. The 1-0. Got on and missed. It was high. Got a 1-1. Good ball game turning out to be. It's only a 7-inning game. In the penultimate inning, Rams will have 2 chances to come to bat. Catalano trying to bring in Burris. Give Bryan the series win. That goes inside and low. 2 balls, 1 strike. Well, E-Step, one of those young pitchers for Bluefield. Really, there is no guy that is experienced other than Perkins, and even he's only a sophomore. As you saw, struggled a little bit today. 2-1, hit well and deep out to right field. Holzer chasing towards the corner into foul territory, and that ball drops in fair territory. Burris around second will head to third. It bounces in on a throw, and he will stay there. Boy, that was odd. Holzer overran the ball, and now that puts 2 runners aboard with no outs. These fielding woes for Bluefield have made it so hard for them, and now Lake Burris is kind of gimping off of the infield. That's not a good sign for Bryan at all. Kurt Meberg in to pinch run.
At the plate, number 24, Jesus Estudillo.
Jesus Astudillo back to the plate. Talking this over with McCauley. 7-7 the score, no outs. Boy, a triple play. Of course, that doesn't really seem
second, number 14, Kurt Meberg.
like it's a real possibility, but, you know, it's there. Ground ball shot over to third base. Maybe Millet could cut one. That would be the most clutch thing that ever happened, but realistically, trying to get these outs. Up against Steven Estep. That's another situation where the Rams, they should have just made that fielding play. And that's not routine at all for Holzer. Had to run over to get it, but just out of his grasp and overran the ball. First pitch to Astudillo. He swings and lifts it out to right field. Holzer charges in, dives to make the grab. Now he'll throw it in there, bouncing and cut off to Espinal. Runners on the corners, and now 1 out. Bryan is fired up there. Runner got from second to third in a hurry. Tyler Scott up to the plate. The pitch. Fouls it off right side. Rams got that first out. Double play could send them into the bottom of the 6th. All tied up at 7-7, but Scott trying to break this lead again. Very clutch as the second baseman today. Got an 0-1. E-Step relaxes. Checks on first. He deals. And it's low, rolls through Cardona, and here comes the go-ahead run. Catalano over to second. Boy, that is tough. Kurt Meberg makes it 8-7. That's got to be rough for Bluefield. At least 3 of these runs have scored on wild pitches. 1 out, 1-run lead for Bryan. Rams led at one point in this game, 5-1. The pitch. Scott grounds it on the left side. Over to Millet, checks the runner, throws to first. On target, 2 outs.
Designated hitter David Scoggins.
Scoggins to the plate. Trying to add to this 1-run lead. Clint McCauley looking on from the third base side. His team has battled throughout this ball game, even after Bluefield jumped out to an early lead. David Scoggins is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. First pitch. That's well inside, almost hit him. Ball 1. Left-handed DH up in the count. Fouled off. 1-1. One ball, one strike, 2 outs. He steps off. 8-7 the score. Big lead at second. The pitch got on a miss. Strike 2. Boy, Scoggins is not seeing the ball well. Catalano at second base. Final strike at the top of the 6th, possibly. Last time he was up, he flew out to center. Scoggins might be due. Runner at second and the 1-2. That did not miss by much. He's a tall guy, and if that was outside, maybe that's why, but that is right down the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Count a 2-2. Here's the pitch. Got on and missed. Strike 3, and that ends the top of the 6th inning. Bryan has the lead back, though. It is 8-7 Lions. Marcus Espinal leads off the bottom of the 6th for the Rams, up against a new pitcher in Dalton Ross, the right-handed pitcher. That's it for Chambly. Went 5 innings, allowed 7 earned on 4 walks and 8 strikeouts with 5 hits for Bluefield. Espinal, one of those hits. That pitch is down low. Ross sprinting in from out of the bullpen. And now he's sprinting for another one as the Submariner deals that one. It's a ground ball up the middle, sniped down, pump fake, throw to first. In time, Howell is able to get it. Smashed it down onto the ground there and nearly lost it.
First baseman, Edgardo Bernard.
Edgardo Bernard up to the plate. By the way, for Ross, on the year, coming out of the bullpen 20 times. Submariner deals the first pitch to Bernard, low and away. 4.03 ERA, has 3 saves on the year. This would be his 4th if he goes these 2 innings. 38 hits, or 38 innings, 32 hits, 21 runs, 17 earned, 14 walks, and 45 strikeouts. Here's the 1-0. Got on and missed, strike 1. It's a bit different when you have a guy with a regular delivery and then you come out with a lower slot like this, a 1-1. Side armor deals it up high. 2 balls, 1 strike. Ross seems to be kind of a bit of eccentric. Here's the 2-1. Just misses 3-1. Notably showing how he's a little bit disappointed at some of these pitches not hitting into the zone. 3-1 to Bernard coming up. Fouled back, strike 2. Rams need hits, and they need them now, down by 1. Here's another payoff. Outside, ball 4. Peterson held it there, so now that brings the tying run on to first and the go-ahead run to the plate.
Second baseman, Andy Pena.
Andy Pena is due. Here's a guy that has struggled all year offensively for Bluefield, and now a chance to knock in Edgardo Bernard. And he's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. The pitch, it's high, ball 1. Ross, the right-handed pitcher from Statesboro, Georgia. The 1-0. Pena with a check swing. It was dropped. Looking for the appeal. Did not go. That was close. 2 balls, no strikes, 1 out. Rams have capitalized off of the walk like Bryan did in Game 1 in Game 2. 2-0. Now it's low, 3-0. We've seen this out of all of the pitchers today for Bryan. First couple of batters kind of try to get through the motions, and then when they start to heat up, it is tough. 3-0 down the middle, strike 1. 3 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. 3-1. Swung on and shot into left field, a base hit over the glove of Howell. Tying run is at second with no outs with a go-ahead run at first. Back to the top of the lineup with Jordan Huntley, and this is exactly what the Rams wanted. Excuse me, there is 1 out. Still a double play intact that could end this 6th inning. One gone, bottom of the 6th. Rams down 8-7. Only playing a 7-inning game. First pitch to Huntley. Cuts and misses. Strike 1. No balls, 1 strike. Popped up, foul and out of play. Huntley is down 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. 6th inning of a 7-inning game. Bryan will try to find insurance runs again in the 7th, or possibly take the lead back. 0-2. Swinging a ground ball, fought off down the first baseline, and is just foul. Boy, that was close. By the way, Lake Burris is back at first, and that was foul, but that was very close to being fielded and kicked back into fair territory. No balls, 2 strikes. 2 runners on. The 0-2. Swing and a miss, climbing the ladder and got him to chase. Sidewinder gets a big-time strikeout.
Designated hitter, Jose Santana.
And we'll bring up Jose Santana. It's one of the final chances for Bluefield. Santana due for a base hit. Tying run at second. Go ahead, run at first. Santana hit by a pitch. That's the second time today he's gotten plunked, and now the bases are loaded. Ozzie Millette, he's been red hot today.
Third baseman, Ozzie Millette.
So Millette to the plate with the bases loaded. Base hit could tie it up or take the lead as he flies it foul on the first pitch. 0-1. 2 outs, bases loaded. Not going to get a better chance than this to take the lead for Bluefield. 8-7 the score. Millette is ready. 0-1. High and outside, ball 1. Meanwhile, there is a change out in center field that we did not note earlier. Tucker Kane is in center. Bond out and right. 1-1. Down the middle, strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bases loaded, Rams are down by 1. Here's the pitch. Outside corner, got him. Millette goes down looking with the bases loaded and a chance to try to tie it up or take the lead. Can't do that. On to the 7th. Bryan leads by 1. Top of the 7th inning. Rams are down by 1. Estep trying to keep it that way up against Logan Peterson, and the first pitch to the catcher is high and outside for ball 1. Bluefield was taken down by an 11-run mercy ruling in Game 1 in 8 innings. As the 1-0 comes in, fouled back, evens it up at 1-1. They have led in this game by as much as 4. They tied it up 7-7, then a run came across in the 6th. Estep, the relief pitcher, trying to keep this game at 1 run so the Rams can try to tie it up or walk it off in the bottom of the 7th inning. Now the 1-1. Peterson looks at it low and inside. Peterson 0 for 3, flew to left, flew to right, and grounded out to the pitcher. First time he's faced E-step, 2-1. Just a bit inside, ball 3. 8-9-1 due up for Bryan, the number 23 team in the country. South Carolina native rocks and deals. There's a strike, going back with a fastball. A full count. Payoff. Peterson grounds it foul down the third baseline. Keeps it at 3-2. Nobody on. Leadoff man in the 7th inning. Here's a 3-2. Fouled back again. Well, this really is the way to do it. 9-inning game, 7-inning game. Really the best way to do it would be 2 7s, but I think the NAIA and the AAC have it right to do a 7-inning game in a doubleheader. Here's a 3-2. Inside, ball 4, and that's a big loss for E-step. Got to keep this game at a minimum of 1 run. Peterson will jog off. A new runner coming on. Waiting on who will it be, and it'll be Tejeda. Estine Udumban. 1 for 3 with a run scored and a strikeout. Does have a stolen base. 8-7 the score, no outs, top of the 7th. It would be huge for Bluefield to just come back and win in the bottom of the 7th inning, even up the series. Udumban shows bunt. It's called a strike. Goes at 0-1. After losing that game in a long fashion in game 1, 12-1 in 8 innings, just to even keep this at a 1-run game in the second shows that the Rams, when the pitching is done and executed at least moderately well, it can be a ball game. Pickoff attempt sails over the glove of Bernard, kicks out, and that is a gift that Bryan did not need. Tejeda on to second base. No balls, 1 strike, and now the bunt from Udumban could make it even better to put Tejeda over at third. See if he goes back to the bunt sign, though. Oh, 1. And it's inside for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Eight 7 the score, a 1-run lead. The pitch up high and away for ball 2. Well, E-step walking the first batter. Udumban's a guy that's been on base pretty much the entire day. It is incredible how quickly he has been able to get on base. 2-1. Fouled back, makes it 2-2. Tejeda at second, an 8-7 lead with no outs in the top of the 7th inning. 3 errors for Bluefield. 2 errors in the third. That is why Bryan leads in this game. Up and away. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Payoff. Inside corner, big time strikeout looking. Udambon will go back into the dugout, and there is out number one. Great breaking pitch from the lefty. Back to the top of the lineup, and Gabe Howell. Boy, that really helps E-Step. Already one out. The pitch. High and away, ball one. One ball, no strikes, one out. Getting hotter and hotter. So let's see who the Rams will have up in that bottom of the seventh. They're going to have the 4, 5, 6 due up. E-Step looks 1-0. And the dirt kept in front. 2 balls, no strikes. Two balls, no strikes. E-Step fires. High and away, ball 3. At this point, you might as well try to intentionally walk him, I think. Get a force at a couple of bags. Rather than give him a chance to hit this 3-0. High for ball 4. 2 runners aboard. Tejeda at second, and here comes Wade Weinberger.
Left fielder Wade Weinberger.
Left fielder to the plate. Base hit could break it open. It's only a 1-run game. Bryan has 10 hits in game 2. Rams with 6. Bluefield hoping for a rubber match tomorrow. Bryan trying to clinch the series right here. First pitch. Weinberger skies it in the air. Left field. Wind pushing it back. Napoleon has a beat on it. Glides to the left, makes the catch. There's out number 2 as Napoleon serves it back into third. And now there are 2 outs with 2 men aboard. So now the biggest plate appearance that E-Step has faced. 2 outs, Lake Burris. Burris is due. He doubled off of Perkins to start the game. Home run could maybe put this one out of reach. Rams will have to face off against Dalton Ross in the bottom of the 7th inning. Burris is 1 for 2. He's been walked twice and struck out once. Calls time. E-Step with 3 walks and 2 strikeouts. Also has the throwing error. Takes a look at second. 8-7 the score for his pitch. Missed somehow. Ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs. It's a 1-run game. Sun fiercely beaming down. Top of the 7th. Biggest home run hitter in the conference. The 1-0. Swung on and hit well. Deep to left field. Napoleon back. Jumps to make the catch. And there is out number 3. Stays a 1-run game. And we will go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Rams hoping to tie it up or walk it off against Bryan with their final 3 outs in front of them. Lennon Napoleon due up for Bluefield against Dalton Ross. 8-7, final inning of the ball game. Rams are down by 1. Sidewinder deals. Napoleon shows bunt, pulls back. It's right down the middle, strike 1. Bryan 3 outs away from clinching the series already. 0-1, swung on and missed, strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes. Cardona on deck and Espinal in the hole. Oh, Napoleon had a clutch hit back in the 5th. 0-2, check swing. Did he go? No, he held up. Boy, that was close. 8-7, no outs. Left fielder to the plate. One of the more charismatic players for Bluefield. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, and that is a big strikeout for Dalton Ross. Now the Rams are down to their final 2 outs. Joseph Cardona trying to set the table for Andreas Holzer, who is due up before the bat of Marcus Espinal, who had that grand slam back in the 1st inning. One out for Cardona. Garrett Schilling, the first base coach, taking a long walk back. Now play is resumed. First pitch. Catcher looks at it, high and away, ball 1. Could be the 32nd win of the year for Bryan. Rating for the 1-0. Down the middle, strike 1. Everybody for Bryan. It is rapid fire. 1002, 1003, 1004. Only about 8 seconds between pitches, seemingly, but Cardona did a good job and stepped out. Wants it to be at his pace. 1-1. Low and in, ball 2. Rearranges. Ross with a 2-1. Fouled back. Makes it 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Nobody's on. Two and 2. Ross looks from the belt. He pitches. Outside, ball 3, full count. This is one of the biggest pitches of the game, if not the biggest one from Ross. Now the payoff. Cardona looks at it, ball 4, and the tying run is aboard for Bluefield with a chance for Dre Holzer. Matthew Larson will check on to run for the catcher. 1 out. Holzer is due.
Matthew Larson running at first at the plate. Andreas Holzer.
So Andreas Holzer with 1 out. Deep up base hit can tie this game up, and that pitch hits on the outside corner. Holzer's 0 for 2 with a run scored. The pitch, and a tie for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Double play could end the game. Bottom of the 7th. Final inning of this one. Ross working from the stretch. He deals. Inside corner, strike 2, and Holzer knew it. Got to look back to that bottom of the 6th inning where the Rams had the bases loaded, albeit with 2 outs, and Millette went down looking. 1-2, into the air, out to right field. Udambon steps up and dives. He can't make the catch. Ball rolls on the ground. Larson on his way to second, throw there, cut off. So it's an E9. Udambon played it a bit too low, and he dropped it. So the winning run is aboard for Bluefield for Marcus Espinal. Had that grand slam back in the 1st inning. Dalton Ross looking out to right field, wondering what just happened. Bryan, though, a double play could still end this ball game. First pitch, Espinal checks at it, called a strike anyway. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Runners at second and first. Game could be tied. If Larson scores, Bluefield could win if Holzer scores. Wind blowing right to left. Looked at it down the middle, strike 2. Espinal held up. Now forced to swing away at pitches here. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. From the waist, 0-2. Outside, where did that miss? Ball 1. Nearly about to ring him up there, but Espinal will stand in to see another pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes with 1 out. Wind slightly blowing out for Espinal, the righty. 1-2. Swung on and grounded over to short, could be 2. Tossed to second is there. On to first. Yes. A 6-4-3 double play, and Bryan sweeps the doubleheader and wins game 2 in a heartbreaker, 8-7. And Bluefield had their chances in this one, and it's a tough game that they lost. Bryan College with their 32nd win of the year, now 32-12, Rams 22-20. We're going to be right back for the series finale tomorrow at 1 p.m., but that does it for our doubleheader here at Bowen Field. Once again, reminding you the final score. My name is Bailey Engel. Bluefield loses this one in a heartbreaker, 8-7 to Bryan. And until tomorrow, take it easy, Rams fans.